Oh, just sneaks it by. Should be perfectly buried. Top eight. Great throw by Rochelle. Two great rocks to start Team Rock on this end. Of course, Team Silvernagle with that corner guard, I imagine, will go around and begin to get their offense going in this end. Taylor McDonald going really, really hard on this. Seems to be a little bit light. Really going hard. Make contact with that stone, but to knock it into the ring, still on center line. So we have an advantage here building for Team Rock. I think I'll go for a high guard to cover off the run back and protect those two yellow stones that are in great position. Again, as we saw, you get that rock going a little bit as it comes towards center line. It really takes off. Good example of that right there. Great looking shot. Great position for Team Rock. I think you'll see a blasting here. Try to remove both of these center line guards and open up the house. There we go. Now we've got a good angle here in the second camera. A chance to see the rock, what we're looking at, and what's being thrown. Great job being done here by Jason and Jerry in the studio. Oh, this is floating out a little bit. We saw that. You get this started, and the rock will stay out there. Well, makes good contact, removes them from the center. The yellow one, though, looking to spin in.
And it looks like it just caught the...
Yeah. But it will really more act like a corner guard for Team Silvernagle if they're ever able to use that.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, Kelsey Rocque won't want to let them do that. And by virtue of putting up another center guard, she'll keep protecting these two staggered and try to keep the play there. Well, Dana just threw this rock last time, so I expect this to be really close. It's almost a repeat shot she's throwing here. Really want to get this to split the center line, so we have Rochelle really going hard. This one's a little wider, but here it comes. It's got to keep it moving, and it should keep creeping over.
Well, that's the hope. It looks like a little bit of sweeping. It didn't quite go far enough. And a little deeper right into the house.
That's a Christmas tree if I've ever seen one.
I believe so. Having those rocks all in line like that makes it really hard to plan for a hit on multiple rocks. I kind of have to take them out one at a time.
A good rock to get those things moving, but really wanted to try and stick around just to force a little bit of play and get some stones in position. But nevertheless, did really open that up, and you can see Kelsey Rocque protect that rock in the house as well as choke off the ability to use that corner. So we are getting later in the end. Danielle Schmiemann, the third for Kelsey Rocque, will try and deliver this one down, a tight guard. working hard. It's moving over. They want to get a little further, or they'll give a chance.
It looked like it was thrown a little bit light. They did sweep earlier for a bit of weight.
Well, now an opportunity for Silvernagle. Big change in this end with that. Now she can make a nice hit off this yellow, remove it. You get a flop in behind that, those two corner guards. A real opportunity here with Taylor McDonald's shot to move on the offense. Oh, really good try there. Made the hit, but just rolled a little bit too far. So now advantage back to Kelsey, Rocque. Chance for Daniel Schmiemann to put this one right in the top four, fully buried behind cover.
Looks like they're sweeping quite hard to hold it straight to get past that guard.
Oh, it's fine. They need to sit down now. They don't want to get too deep and give Silvernagle the out, and they don't. Of course, it does peak a bit out on the corner side, so a soft weight around. I think she can push it to the back and get a flop in behind these corner guards. They just threw it, so same shot. Taylor McDonald, the same thrower. I expect this to be really close.
Well, if she brings the weight down a little bit from her previous shot, she should be able to stay behind in that roll.
They're going hard. Now off it a bit. That's usually a good sign. Got to go a little hard to get by. It's really close, and what a great shot.
Just by a sheet of paper that rolled by.
Could have actually swept a little more to try and get a roll, but still a good shot there.
I believe so, yeah.
Of course, this Kelsey Team Rocque is one of those teams that is staying together, heading into the next quadrennial. Lots of shakeups happening, obviously. Interesting and exciting. I mean, change is good, and as we've seen, a lot of change, but it's also great to see this great team staying together.
So as some of the curling fans may know, Robin Silvernagle has stepped away from the team. She is focusing a little bit on some family. Her son was born earlier this year and has needed his mom. So next year, Jessie will be retaining the position as skip.
Well, a good throw there by Kelsey. Unfortunately, just rolling a bit too far, so it's going to give a chance for Jessie to try and get the skip's deuce to get around first, probably in that top four area, and put the pressure right on Kelsey here with only one rock to come from her. Excuse me. Now, is this typical you do curl here, Nadine? Is this typical for the ice? Seeing been here now 3-4 draws. What is this? What we should be expecting? Or are you seeing a little more play?
Obviously, at this level versus us in the recreational leagues, they know how to read the ice a little better. But we do find our ice does have a lot of curl, especially when you're playing off the center line. And usually around the edges like that, it maintains a pretty straight line. Obviously, as the weight goes up, we run straighter. One thing we do find here in Leduc is after a few rocks are thrown down, the weight has to be adjusted significantly. What you find in the first couple of ends is having to throw a little bit more than you think you need to. And then by the third end, it's like it's like the paths are clear, and all of a sudden you got to throw a little less.
Oh, an absolute perfect shot here by Team Silvernagle and their skip Jessie Hunkin, and a little pressure on. I do think Kelsey can get at it and get it moved away, but we'll have to be a little bit careful. Don't want to rub in the guard or a chance for a nice deuce.
Well, and her own guard is sitting in kind of a precarious position there in the front.
Pick the line. It's the last shot for Kelsey Rocque. Team Rocque here in the second end, leading 1-0. One more from Team Silvernagle still to come. Got that one started out a little bit. Dana's going hard. Once it starts to go, it should go. So here it comes over, but really needs to work hard to get a big enough piece to get this out of there, and she will not. You could see on that release, that pop, and it just, a little extra weight just hung and hung and hung, and never caught the break. So a real nice chance here. Just got to catch paint +1, and we should have a 2-1 game after 2. While we watched this shot come down, we had some nice lunch upstairs before this game, and tons of people here. Just an amazing recreational center. So much activity going on. Just a bustling beehive of activity in this community. I can only imagine it must be a center focus for this place.
Well, and that's the thing about the Leduc Curling Club is we are in the heart of a recreation center. There are 3 hockey arenas here, and there's always events going on in those. There's also a big field house where currently this weekend there is a under 18s volleyball tournament. So as I was having lunch in our Sticks and Stones pub operated by Leduc Curling Club, the front lobby was full of young volleyball players. It's a great atmosphere to see, especially after the last couple of years.
Well, after a tremendous first draw by Jessie Hunkin, just a little bit heavy there and no backing, and returned the favor that Kelsey Rocque gave in the first end. So we're 1-1 and heading into the third end here in Leduc Curling Center.
Are you having trouble keeping your balance during delivery? We've got the answer. The ProSlide is the ultimate in delivery aids. The ProSlide offers more stability than any other delivery aid on the market today. The slanted top lets you position your hand according to your height and sliding preference. The sturdy base gives you the balance and control you need during delivery, giving you the confidence to make every shot. The ProSlide is a unique one-piece design that is virtually indestructible, able to withstand the entire weight of a person standing on it, which is why the main body has a lifetime warranty. Designed by Reed Carruthers with Poly West Limited and played with by Reed on Tour. Get yours today through Hardline Curling.
Win big with Curling Alberta's 50-50. Please, play responsibly.
All right, welcome back to the third end here at Leduc Curling Center, the C elimination game. The winner going into the page 3 for a game tonight at 7 p.m. The loser going home, or welcome to stay around and watch. We've got Team Rocque and Team Silvernagle, and each scoring one apiece with hammer in the first two ends. So we're down to a 6-end game here, and Team Rocque does have hammer. As we watch Rochelle Brown, the lead on Team Rocque, get ready to deliver her second stone at the end. Right, in case you're wondering, that is a real fireplace in behind. It's the actual center of the Leduc Center, the absolute middle center of this entire facility, and it is a fireplace. Nice view from the rink, and obviously nice feature in the lobby. A really nice throw there, removing the Team Rocque stone, but will be left exposed, and I imagine we'll have a play with Dana Ferguson on this stone and try and flop back in behind the center and in the top of the forefoot. Great position. Daniela Schmiemann working really hard on this to get it over there to get a piece and to hopefully stick around, but no, she will not. Still removes the shot rock. We'll leave a chance for Team Silvernagle to get on the offense here early in the third end. A really good line here, really good weight. This is going to be a superb shot. There it is. Very close to right behind it, just in the top four. A really good throw. I'm going to draw around on it, it looks like. Bump it back a little bit. Michelle Brown going really hard here. That little extra weight, it's staying out there. Really trying to carve it around. Here it comes. Want to get it as close to nose as they can. Won't be able to remove it, though, and we'll, I believe, leave it as shot stone. Still, it looks like Team Silvernagle will play a hit on it and flop in and lie there, too.
Yeah, I believe that red is still still sitting shot stone as well.
Going really hard here. This is really curling off that stone. Got to go hard just to get a piece of it.
And it looks like it
just over curled
and missed by a sheet of paper.
In case you don't know, that's very thin.
It's very thin. We've seen a lot of shots like that over the weekend, just by millimeters in missing.
One thing we've noticed is with the way the ice is, you gotta be precise. If you get a little too positive on release, it can float on you. A little bit too heavy, it can stay out. A little soft, it'll really go. The handle's important and the weight's important. Makes for great curling ice, and this is where you'll see the top teams pull away because they're able to really control the weights in their shots and really focus on those releases.
Well, and adjust to these situations that they're encountering. Of course, every sheet is a little bit different, and every time of day is slightly different as well.
Well, that's right. There's more sun out, right? Or it's colder or lighter, right?
Well, there you go.
All right, Daniel, going down, just have a little conversation with Kelsey Rocque.
As we're here, we're also watching some other action happening on the sheets today. We have Team Crow versus Team Kazan Purcell. At the end of the third, we have Team Crow and Team Purcell tied at 2 apiece.
Well, they weren't able to remove it, but they did push it to second shot, so again, we saw once that rock gets outside there, with any little bit of weight, really hard to get it in, to curl over.
Yeah, on the edge of the sheets like that, they just don't move. And that's typical of us here in our Leduc sheet.
Well, chance for Taylor McDonald to hit and roll slightly in, and the force will be on. Still lots of chance here for Rocque to score, but will indeed be forced to score. Might be a long cross court double. We'll see. Great shot there by Taylor McDonald. I think we'll probably see just a straight draw. Okay. Ignoring the 2 red stones, feeling very comfortable that she can outdraw those and trying to go on the offensive as we get late in this end. But you want to make sure she keeps this up in the house, so doesn't want to get behind that T line and leave it out for Team Silvernagle. Not quite getting in there. Will be in for second shot, though, but does leave Team Silvernagle sitting 1. I imagine you'll see her draw around and try and get to that top 4 first. Just trying to probably decide which is the best way to come at this. Looks like she's favoring this left side. We have seen some good curl over here. Probably the side she threw most during the practice and feels most comfortable with here. Really just wants to get around everything into the top 4. Make sure she forces a tough shot for Team Rocque. It's important, though, that this is made, because if not, Kelsey is setting second shot and will bring the deuce into play. So I really want to make sure they get this into the rings and line 2.
Yeah, it looks like they're trying to sit right on the right full forefoot there. even a little higher would be all right.
Seems to be
A little heavy.
curling over nice, but I think this will be able to get this to the back, maybe back 12, maybe even through. That'll be 2 throws in a row that she's been a bit heavy. I do think it sat down for a second shot, so very fortunate there.
Definitely deeper than they'd like, though.
Yeah, choice here for Kelsey just to throw that skips deuce in there, just try and hit and roll over. In case she gets another miss, she would be able to potentially bring the top rock in play. But I think you'll see her do what she did 2 shots before and just ignore everything and try and get in there first and hopefully set up this skips deuce. And you'll see there as Kelsey comes down, she keeps the broom down, just giving a little sweep. We saw Rochelle out there giving a little sweep. The players trying to make sure there's no debris or possible smudging that can happen on these shots. Really important ones too. Going hard here, trying to hold the line.
And it looks like they claimed that spot on the 4-foot there that Jessie was trying to get to. It is a little bit on the open side. There is potential for the hit.
Yeah, it is. It's about maybe just under a half. So looks like she's just going to try and pick it out. Doesn't need to stay around. She's got first and second shot. Does want to be careful though. There is a chance she could roll into her own red and then bounce up and then would leave a shot for 2 on the back one with a heavy draw. So don't want to be just too heavy and careless here on this takeout. But if she can remove this, then the force should be on for Kelsey.
And it looks like it didn't curl quite enough and sailed right on by.
And again, that's that weight.
Yeah.
There wasn't a lot to look at there. And just getting that weight up, it did not move. In fact, it fell out just a little bit.
Definitely an unlucky break.
Well, chance here just to get the 2. Kelsey Rocque, she just threw the shot, so I expect this to be really close. Just same one. She does have a lot of backing, so obviously don't want to do that. Don't want to plan for that because that's when you miss it. But I expect she'll throw the same shot she did, and these veteran sweepers will be able to guide this one in. Just keeping it clean right off there. sweeping to make sure they get by this top yellow one. Don't want to wreck on it. And that's exactly what she'll do. Just a little bit light. It caught that curl. And
wrecked on the front guard there.
so,
the front 12-foot.
So no damage done again. Even though Silvernagle missed that, gave another great opportunity for a deuce. Kelsey not able to capitalize. Still will take a 2-1 lead heading into the fourth end.
Win big with Curling Alberta's 50-50. Please, play responsibly.
Because I don't like, is there a way to change the view to what we had before? You were saying to minimize that. When I minimize, it just goes right into like blank screens. No, the view we have is that split screen,
Which is good.
but we don't have, like on the bottom, we used to be able to see when the players were talking, so you could kind of be quiet or. But okay, yeah, you're right. 'Cause we had preview and we had view, so no worries. You know what? We'll go with it. Now that we have these angles, it's perfect. We can see. So yeah, it's all good, Jerry. And sorry. Oh, welcome back, everyone. Here we are in the fourth end. It's been an exciting game. Lots of chances for deuces every end, Nadine. But so far, neither skip on their last shot's been able to execute and earn that second point. But here we go again. We've got rocks in play, and I expect we'll have another exciting end with lots of action.
Well, now it's going to be very hard to get it past that front guard.
Well, certainly things setting up really well here for Team Rocque. They've got one of the top four. Chance to put a second center line guard. Of course, Team Silvernagle has that one red on the outside. It's about a 3 to 4 foot run back, so certainly lots of chance there as well. So, but we'll see what happens here as Dana Ferguson is asked to put another center line guard up.
Looks to be a little higher than they wanted, but it did cover that center line off pretty good.
In fact, I would almost argue it worked out better. It took away that run back on the red. So
That's true.
it wasn't the call. I wanted to be over closer to the center line, but it did serve a good purpose. But regardless, we're going to see Team Silvernagle try to remove the next few shots, probably a lot of that out front. It's always nice, too, when you're hitting your own rock back.
It is.
Well, great rock there. They get two corner red guards out of that in high yellow, and they do expose that center line. So still a chance. Kelsey Rocque put this just left of the center line and blocked the path, but at least all the plays seems to be moving out a bit off that center line in terms of what Team Silvernagle would like. So great shot there. A little deeper than they wanted, but still works great. Right there in front. Should be able to get the double out of this, so I'd imagine. Might even be able to roll in and get a little biter off this.
Well, that would be the best alternative for sure. You can see the analyzing the angles and where to hit. I think if you hit it just off nose there, you'll get them both.
Really good throw.
Beautiful double.
And leaves her own rock right there. A great spot. So a little short run back if Team Rocque does make this. So certainly things looking much better after those two shots for Team Silvernagle. We're going hard here. Hard to get by.
It almost looked like it came out of her hand a little bit on the lighter side, but she might just a little rub off that red. It does come in to sit shot stone, but it is right in the wide open there.
Yeah, really good chance here. They can hit. And I think a far roll will be better than a short roll here. Really probably want to hit half to three quarters and get a real good roll over. So they start to move this play over to the sides.
Yeah, ideally you want to get off that center line.
They're going really hard on this to hold it. Really hard to hold it. What a great throw that was. And tucks it right in behind. You'll probably see Kelsey Rocque do the run back double here and leave her shot sitting right on the center line for use. We'll have to hit it just a little bit off nose because these are almost dead in front of each other. Doesn't want to roll too far though.
They're working very hard to keep it straight.
Must have got that one started out of her hand because that one really took off. Wow, great opportunity to come, I would say, wide on this one and draw right around the top four. And that's exactly what they're going to do. Their high yellow guard, even if it's not fully tucked underneath, they will have some protection. Again, they don't want to get this too deep and leave it out for Team Rocque, but a real good chance here for Team Silvernagle to start to apply some pressure and maybe score the first deuce of this game. What a fantastic shot.
That is amazing.
If you were to walk that down and place it in the ideal spot, I'm not sure you could do any better than that, Nadine.
I'm positive you couldn't.
And the smiles on those sweeper faces say it all.
Well, and not only that, they were only keeping the ice clean as it went down. It was beautifully thrown right from the moment she let it go.
Of course, Rocque will have a chance just to draw down on top of this. She won't get shot, but she will extremely close down that scoring area. It'll force, depending how it plays out, it seems Silvernagle to have to draw the button on the other side. So this really is, I don't think she's as much trying to remove this rock as she's trying to come down on top of it and really shrink the scoring area and negate that top rock. Nice positive release out there. Line looks really good here. They need to curl. I think you'll see Rochelle go on it. I'll try to get that over if they can. Well, still a really good throw. Does get in for second rock, although I do think Team Silvernagle can get to the inside and push that to the back 8 in line 3. So I think there's a good opportunity here to put a lot of pressure on with only one shot to come from Team Rocque. Just a reminder, these are the final games. These are the C event games. There's 2 men's and 2 women's going on. Winners of all of these games will move into the playoffs, guarantee themselves some money, at least $1,500. But, of course, the big prize being given out tomorrow afternoon will be the $8,000 championship money to the winning team. On the men's side, Team Botcher, Team Sturmey already punched their tickets earlier in the event. And on the women's side, Team Marks won the A and Team Skurlik won the B and punched their tickets. Really good-looking shot coming in here, trying to hold it. Catch that yellow with enough weight to move it through in line 3. Did they do it? Yes, they did. A fantastic shot. Team Rocque has got 1 rock left, and does not look very good. They're probably going to have to try and come deep around the center line and sit second. Probably can't get shot to get it buried enough, and you certainly don't want to leave it exposed.
And at this stage with the last rock, it's to minimize the damage.
Yeah, there's really no play on these 3 on the outside. I like the shot they're looking at because if it's a little bit higher, it could be run into that red. It could be run into the back yellow, maybe squeak in for a second. Either way, not a great situation. This shot needs to be made. We saw this in some of the previous other games. Team Rocque gives up that 3-ender and then puts them behind the 8 ball. That happened against Team Crow in their loss there, and so really this is an important shot for Team Rocque. They've got to make sure they get it to bury to minimize the damage. There we go, some great camera angles and work by our team in the studio. Doing a great job to bring some wonderful, wonderful curling to all the fans out there tuned in to watch. This is Kelsey Rocque's final shot of the 4th end. Oh, we gotta go. Looking really good. Hope they didn't leave it. It's got to get by. If you want to go deep as you can, you've got to get this buried to a point. Really, really good throw. I don't think she could have done much better. Didn't miss that rock by much in the house. Had to go deep to make sure that they tucked it enough to avoid a heavy draw that might push them back for 4. So we'll see what shot Hunkin wants to take on here, whether they want to throw a little weight and try and move it to get more than 2, or if she'll just draw straight down to it and take the 2.
Well, it looks like she's planning to draw. Her draws have been a little heavy, so there is some potential for some backing there.
Yeah, only has to move it about a foot, but you already got the 1, which is great. Chance to get in for your second, and deuces have been at a premium so far. So I think let's make this shot. You have seen the last few draws of hers, and the end of the end were a little bit heavy. So I'm sure she'll correct that here, and I expect her to put this right on the pin. Some great sweeping from that front end. All right, they're trying to curl this over. Looks like they've got some weight. They might be able to move it enough if they make contact. Oh.
Well, we can tell there's 1 redstone for sure.
Likely put a measure down. You might as well. If you're going to measure 1, you might as well measure 2.
Well, that's just it. And they're only going to measure the 2, the red and the yellow there.
Well, first they'll need to go find the measuring devices. And once they do, players themselves will do the measuring and agree upon it. Only if the players are in disagreement would they bring an umpire out. That's what it should be. It's great to see the players solve these on their own themselves. Good overview there. It's hard to tell.
I'm not sure. It really is hard to tell.
All right, they'll make sure they get a reading, tighten it up. We'll try to take a view here and see. That moves about 1 plus on the dial, 1 plus there. So when we circle around to the other one, we'll see if it goes a little further or a little less.
Oh, the community has been outstanding. We want them to come here, but not just because we're Sherwood Park. We want to give them the best service they could get, even if they went to the city. We employ a lot of staff and installers that are right here from Sherwood Park.
We know the people here, and I think we take the time to get to know people and to figure out what their needs are.
You know, it's been a real rewarding experience, I think, for all of us. And we've so many great people in the community and contractors that we call family.
Win big with Curling Alberta's 50-50. Please, play responsibly.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
Curling! The game with the ice, and the rocks, and the sweeping, and the yelling. Each game starts with a handshake and a coin flip to determine who goes first. Then, 2 teams of 4 people take turns throwing 44-pound stones down a sheet of ice. The target? A 12-foot house that looks like a bullseye, just under 150 feet away. Each team throws 8 rocks, and the team closest to the center after all the rocks are thrown will score the points. This process is repeated for 6 to 10 rounds, called ends, until one team is victorious. It's just that simple. Or is it? Each team has a captain called the skip. Like a general on the battlefield, the skip calls the shots that will best ensure victory. Stones are delivered with a predetermined rotation, so they actually curl as they travel down the ice. Of course, this is why the sport is called curling. Over the course of each end, players can throw guards to block the house, draws to try to score, or takeouts to remove the opponent's stones. The skips then spend the rest of the time yelling like a crazy person. What they're actually doing is emphatically advising their players to brush the ice in front of the stone. Brushing can drastically affect the speed and direction of the shot. After each team throws its 8 shots, the team closest to the center of the house will score. Or, if they have more than 1 rock closer than the opposition, they count as well. Once all the ends have been played, whoever has the most points wins. Aside from a few dozen other minor details, that's all there is to it. Find a curling facility near you and get started.
Win big with Curling Alberta's 50-50. Please, play responsibly.
So you're a pizza person, but you're married to a wing person, and your kids are salad people? You can't pick your fam, but with over 50 menu items to choose from, you can make them all happy. Order today and enjoy Boston Pizza at home.
Are you having trouble keeping your balance during delivery? We've got the answer. The ProSlide is the ultimate in delivery aids. The ProSlide offers more stability than any other delivery aid on the market today. The slanted top lets you position your hand according to your height and sliding preference. The sturdy base gives you the balance and control you need during delivery, giving you the confidence to make every shot. The ProSlide is a unique one-piece design that is virtually indestructible, able to withstand the entire weight of a person standing on it, which is why the main body has a lifetime warranty. Designed by Reed Carruthers with Polywest Limited and played with by Reed on Tour. Get yours today through Hardline Curling.
Oh, the community has been outstanding. We want them to come here, but not just because we're Sherwood Park. We want to give them the best service they could get, even if they went to the city. We employ a lot of staff and installers that are right here from Sherwood Park.
We know the people here, and I think we take the time to get to know people and to figure out what their needs are.
You know, it's been a real rewarding experience, I think, for all of us. And we've so many great people in the community and contractors that we call family.
been set up really well by her. And it looks to be another one here. They're dragging this as far as they can. They've got it over to the center line. Great throw. And I believe that's just short. Regardless, Kelsey Rocque looking to score a deuce will set up the corner guard to get Team Rocque underway here in the sixth end. Well, two great throws by the Leeds.
And this is often the part of curling that people underestimate, is the effectiveness of setting up your defense so that later in the end you have lots of opportunity to generate a lot of points. As we've been seeing, it's been trading of singles here, so each team is obviously hoping to break that barrier and score two or more.
Yep, so as we saw in the fifth end, Team Rocque, Team Silvernagle stole one. Rochelle Brown throwing her stone. Trying to come around here, and it's a little play off that shot Rocque and maybe flop over into their corner. Really good looking shot coming in here. Not much room for margin there, and really nice shot. Ticks over that top rock into the house too, but nice roll in behind that corner guard. So both teams are setting up well this end. We'll see Team Silvernagle is going to stay on the offense, try and protect that rock on the button. Here we go, throwing second stones for Team Silvernagle, Kim Curtin. Throwing a guard up here, trying to split the center line, kind of half protect the rock in the house and half protect the rock that's just biting up in the top 12. Great throw there. I imagine Kelsey's going to probably play off the top 12 rock. That's the danger rock, and maybe try and flop over towards her corner rock. She could play that long double, but I do like just playing the top 12 rock and getting a little flop over it and exposing the back one. Keep on the offense. I think that's a defensive move to rip the double center, but looks to be what she'd like to try and do. So that's what Dana Ferguson will be asked to do with her first stone here in end number 6. Jess goes over the top and will roll out herself. Still removes that one stone, and as someone once told me, if someone puts it there,
you
probably want to take it away. And I think you'll likely see that shot replaced, but probably try to split the center line more, not quite as wide. But no, instead she's going to rip the corner guard, which isn't a bad play at all.
No, it's in a risky shot, in a risky location. Sorry, for the future. And as we've said with curling many times, you're not planning the shot for the moment. It's for the one that comes after. You always got to be thinking one step ahead.
I think she'd like to try and roll over to the center line if she can, but the most important thing is to try to get rid of this rock. No, now they want to get it out of there. Don't want to leave another corner. Really good throw. Well played. Okay, so changing tactics here rather than rip that one in the top 12. She's going to draw down, try and freeze on the one on the button. That'll make it hard to remove. I imagine if this shot is made, you'll see Team Silvernagle hit and stick on the back yellow rock. I look like they got a good rock coming in here. They're going hard, I think, more for weight. Trying to get it there.
But it does look a little light for the freeze.
Well, a good position for that rock. Very easy run back for it. This is a danger rock. Chance to take this out, but also to sit too. No double available, so good call here by Team Silvernagle. It's Taylor McDonald, the third for the team, throwing her first stone at the end. And they're going hard on it to hold it. And there it is. Really nice throw. We're going to roll that one in behind. Even better.
To sit too.
I think you'll see Kelsey run back this yellow one. There's a chance for a run back double. This is made. We could be moving towards a blank. And hits it just off nose. Probably roll the yellow a little bit to the side along with the thrown rock. Could leave a really good position for Team Rocque after this throw. Just a reminder, if you're wanting to know what's happening on the other sheets, we'll try to bring you some updates here, but we can tell you at curlingalberta.com, you can look at all the scores of all the games from the past as well as from the present. Trying to hold this, really good throw. They're holding it tight. And there you go. There's the double. And yellow will lie, I think, 2. Nadine, what's your thoughts? Your eyes seem to be better than mine.
I think yellow's only sitting 1 myself. It's very close, though, and as we've seen a couple of rounds in this match here, a couple of rocks have been pretty close, and the teams have measured them.
And I've guessed none right, so you're probably right. It's probably red second shot, but probably won't get to know.
It's a tough play to call. Of course, if you're interested in looking back at some of the events that have happened in Leduc this weekend, our Hot Shots competition was on Thursday night, and the chance to view it is available on Curling Alberta's YouTube channel.
Do you know who won the Hot Shots? I can tell you.
I would like that.
Oh, the ladies, there was actually a tie between Kayla Skurlik and Brittany Tran, the third and skip for Team Skurlik, and that tie was broken because of how they performed in the first round, and by virtue of that, Kayla Skurlik won $500 in cash and $500 in Boston Pizza coupons. On the men's side, Brad Thiessen just squeaked into the championship round in his first round and then caught fire and got 20 points and won by 3 the men's division, and he had got $500 as well as $500 in Boston Pizza. I'm sure they both shared with their teams and had a lovely meal at Boston Pizza.
I had the opportunity to sit down with Sheldon Hay from the Leduc Boston Pizza location over lunch. He told me some details about their facility today.
Yeah, and it's been great. I've had the occasion to go there a couple times already, and it's not been a time I've been there where there have been any less than 3 teams in there and enjoying the facility in place. And talking with Sheldon and And there's a nice jacket in there that they've got for him, and that's being signed. So really nice gesture, and well deserved by Sheldon, and of course the franchisees that represent the sponsorship here at this event, as well as the Boston Pizza Cup at the provincial championship. So thank you to them, and thank you to all the curlers who continue to support the sponsors who support this sport.
And of course, Sheldon will be back for the hit, draw, tap. He's very enthusiastic and a very big supporter of junior curling in Leduc as well.
Well, looks like they might be trying this. No, they're just drawing out to the wing, so it would seem to indicate that yellow is shot Rocque. So there we go. Yellow should be counting 2. I would imagine if they weren't, they wouldn't have played out to the wing like that. So you'll see Jessie Hunkin try to remove this, probably get a little bit of a roll into the center if she can.
Well, that would be the ideal. The ideal option is to roll into the center there and sit behind the cover. Of course, while we have the opportunity, we'd like to thank Leduc Co-op. They're a huge local sponsor. All kinds of events happening here at Leduc Curling Club. You'll find the co-op name throughout several locations in Leduc area. There's gas stations, of course. There's two liquor stores. There's also the large grocery store. And of course, my favorite place, the co-op hardware store.
A really good shot there by Team Silvernagle. So you'll see Kelsey Rocque just try and do the same hit, stick. This might be one of the simpler ends we've had in this game. Usually lots of rocks in play and tricky ports to come through and raises. And this one, once we sort of settled into this situation, it's been a pretty straightforward back and forth hitting game.
Well, and of course, the decision does come up whether or not you want to blank the end. But at the 6th end, this is often the crucial point and the turning point of the game.
Well, as I say, if you can score in 6, you get 2 scores to 1. You can score 6 and 8 with hammer, and your opponent only gets 1 score in 7. So, an advantage. You want to make sure you score. You want to make sure you stay around, but that is not going to happen. A little bit extra weight, or a little bit out on the throw, and that rock just stayed outside and floated out. So, opportunity here for Team Silvernagle to force here. She's just going to hit that yellow, and I don't think she'll be able to get her rock in, so there'll be a chance, I think, for Kelsey to blank this end. But being uncertain as to who shot, you don't want to leave that there.
Well, and that's the key. Both teams have been looking at those red and yellow stone, wondering which one is shot, and I think the decision was made to eliminate the risk. And Jessie will try to take out that yellow.
There we go, and she'll roll out. Of course, Kelsey will just have to hit this on the nose, and it won't be counting. Of course, she can afford to roll towards the outside, and she'll be fine. But if she rolls a bit towards the end, center, she could end up biting. So likely hit about 3/4 of this rock or half this rock and just make it go away. Here we are, the last stone in this, the 6th end, have a 3-2 game. Team Silvernagle, also known as Hunkin, leading over Team Rocque with hammer. And we have it nose hit, no rocks in the house. It'll be our first blank end of this game. One of the very few blank ends we've seen all tournament, to be honest. And Kelsey Rocque will retain the hammer going into 7, down 3-2. So Nadine, what do you think's happening on the other games?
Judging by some of the reactions I've seen, I think we have some pretty close matches happening here.
You know who's playing in the other games?
We have one ladies event going on. That is Team Crow versus
Kesma Purcell.
Last I checked in, that game was all tied up.
Well, let's see if we can figure that out. They're in the 6th end, and it is a 3-3 tie, a real close game there. Crow did get out to an early lead, and lots of rocks out front and in back of the house, as we can see here.
By the looks of it, almost all of the rocks are in play. There's only 2 yellows sitting not in play right now.
I think yellow just drew against 5. That's Team Crow, and she was able to get it down on the backing. So they should go up 4-3 after 6, so 2 ends to play. When we look over on the men's side, there's 2 games left. Team Sluchinski has a 7-5 lead on Parent. That's playing now in the 8th end, and it is 5-1 Molding leading Myers. Of course, Team Molding being made up of the Ginters, Jason and Father Jeff, as well as Dean Dorrant, who's the lead on that team. On our game again, the lead's doing what they have done best all day long, putting up a perfect center guard and a perfect corner guard. And we've seen these setups all ends during this game. Just a great job by the front end. And if the front end don't do what they're supposed to, it's really hard on the skips and the thirds. And certainly in this game, we've seen some tremendous curling by the front ends.
Well, and it sets the tone for how the whole end goes as well. Perfectly placed leads and second stones give lots of opportunity for run backs and creativity when it comes to your curling shots. It looks like we have a beautiful draw here. Might be out of touch on the heavy side. Little deeper than they wanted, but still a well placed stone.
Yeah, it just means there's more room to play a little bit of a heavier weight shot, get
That's
it out,
right.
and try and roll towards the corner. I don't think at this point Team Rocque would want to draw down on it, because then you're bringing the play to that center. So we'll come after this with some back weight, try and just push it out half a rock and roll over towards their corner guard.
One to roll in behind that corner guard would be the perfect option.
Well, Schwieman's going hard on this, anticipating the break, which is starting to happen now. Wants to get around this first, but also wants to try and get that outside roll. Oh, just gets by. Looks like they'll nose it, so not bad situation, but now a great opportunity for Team Silvernagle to come down and cement one on front right on the button. And that will really shrink that scoring zone early in this end. Interesting, though, choosing to come the other path on this shot. And what I like about this is, should it stay out a little bit, there won't be the ability to hit and roll them behind the corner guard. So I think a good choice to choose to come this way, just so that the tolerance is managed. Well, anticipating the break, they're already sweeping to hold it. Going really hard. This one's really cutting. Still want to hold it there.
Well, and it just snuck by that top guard. They really held that. Great effort by the sweepers.
And over half of it came out on the other side. So I think we'll see the exact same shot. They'll probably try to get just to the inside of that and squirt the red out in the open and keep both yellows in play. So, but Team Silvernagle is successful so far in keeping the play to the center and not letting Team Rocque use their corner guard yet.
Well, I think we will see that corner guard come into play.
And Neil Schmeeman sweeping hard to get it over. Won't get it to nose, but should get a little bit of rub off of that. Built some separation in, so a good shot there. Kept all their stones around. You'll see Team Silvernagle try to play off this, probably hit 3/4 of a rock here, try to squeak it over the red, and then just flop in behind. And she'll be fine if she hits that red, because it will promote it back towards the yellow. But I imagine it should go over top pretty easily.
Yeah, there is a little bit of separation there, so it should be able to just pop out the side.
This one's hanging out, that little extra weight. But did a great job, and will it stick around?
Well, the redstone
Yes,
is
it will.
still there. Great double shot.
And we saw this the other end as well, and Kelsey Rocque realizing that there's no sense playing out at those reds. We'll get on the offensive here, knowing that a force is in play, and then try to bring the play around her corner guard, generate her deuce.
Here it starts to cut over. The sweepers will give it a little bit of help just to get a little distance out of it. And it did come in beautifully behind that corner guard. Perhaps a little deeper than they wanted, but it is shot stone.
And I think you'll see Team Silvernagle chase after this one. Don't have to stick around because they've got two in the rings already, and they'll be okay if they chip off of the guard. It'll open it up, and likely they'll roll into to shot rock if that happens. Taylor McDonald throwing third stones here for Team Silvernagle. Shots underway. They're sweeping to hold the line. They're off. They're trying to make it curl. It's really coming in nicely. She's already on the rock, trying to get it fuller if they can. That was just a great example of weight control. That rock was not overthrown, but with enough purpose that it was able to move it through the back. A really good job by Taylor McDonald on how she sent that rock. It's really easy on those to throw it a little heavy, and then it just tracks. So really good job on that. And good control by the sweepers to manage it in.
Well, and that's a lot of times what people forget is it's truly a team effort. Well-placed rock does start when you let it go, but the sweepers often are the ones who have the more control with the direction and the weight.
This one's really starting to go. They've got to go hard here. They might have already lost it, and they have. Weight, I think, was really good on that, but it just took off.
Well, it seems to be a fine line of centimeters between missing that guard. We've seen two rocks obviously miss it to begin with, and then that one just seemed to nudge it a little over.
Did leave that one in a very usable spot there, just in front. So do have that opportunity. But Team Silvernagle is going to try and come around top four here, really apply some pressure in line four, getting late in the end. Really good throw. Just went a little bit deep, though. That's going to give a bit of an out here for Rocque. I think she'll follow that down, knowing that, a bit heavy. She can come down on that. Will sit Rocque, not be able to get removed. But ideally for them, they'll be top 4 here, and it'll be really hooked around. And we'll try to eke out a 2 here. Danielle Schneeman, the third for Team Rocque, being asked to deliver this to the top 4. Got Dana Ferguson and Rochelle Brown on the broom.
Well, on this edge, it's very hard to gauge how much it'll curl.
Right now, they're going for weight. They really got to go on this.
They really got to go.
A great job by the sweepers.
It looks like it'll finish.
Well, I might remember a few ends. There was a rock like this. They tried to pick out, and it just sailed out and didn't curl. So
yeah,
need to be careful on this. However, they decide to play it, Team Silvernagle.
Well, and they're looking at it. It's a tough play. It's one of those ones I'm not quite sure. I think it's sitting second shot. The redstone still looks to be a little bit closer.
Let's listen in and see what they think.
It looks like the whole team is going to be involved in the discussion. Of course, the discussion was centered around those 2 red stones sitting just behind the 4-foot there.
Well, they're going hard on this. Trying to take away the tap, I'm assuming.
I believe they were with the opinion that red stone sitting just behind the 4-foot there is the shot rock, and they wanted to take away the opportunity for Kelsey Rocque to take the tap and sit a little closer to the 4-foot or on the button there. I think overall it's a well-placed stone. They had talked about taking it out, but the risk, of course, was eliminating 4 reds.
Yeah, I mean, 2 options here. Well, there's multiple options, obviously, but could come in off the outside red one and play the double and sit in behind. For 2, or just a straight draw. It's curling so much. I really like the draw. Also, if you can get the draw around, you'll really make it tough for Silvernagle to get in there and out count you. So I do like the original shot to draw around. Let's see what looking at. So if you do come around, you could come around and even get on top of that red if you're a little bit heavy and sit your 2, but you will give Silvernagle a chance to draw on top of you. Take that end away.
Oh, they're really talking about that red stone in the 12-foot there and what you call the danger zone.
I don't think she can get at it with much weight to do any damage, to be honest.
I don't either.
They would have been better, in my opinion, and it's just an opinion, to leave that red rock fully exposed, because then they can use it by tucking it half under. Makes it difficult to use it. I mean, it takes away the tap, which is what they wanted to do, but it does preclude them from using it themselves. I mean, the other shot they looked at, either by a tap up or drawing around the left, is there and can get them into shot rock. I do like this shot, though, and I think this is a good chance to get your deuce, skips deuce, if she can make this shot. Well, they're going hard to hold it out here. We know when it gets close to the hog line, it will snap. And here it goes already. Really going hard to wait to get it there.
Well, the sweepers are really, really working hard to hold that line.
There will be that slight rub, but it will get in for shot rock. And in fact, it'll also block off that draw on the side for Silvernagle. So it did work out really well, even though they were hoping to get underneath. And I don't think you can get to the inside to take that out. So really hard to make a play on that. That isn't high risk. Wow, that actually worked out really well for Team Rocque. And I'm not sure in nudging that one if it got any closer than the back red, but either way, Kelsey Rocque does sit 1 in a very good position. And while we watch this, we should give a shout out to Tim's Ice and to Matt Yo, the ice maker here, and his whole crew for the great job they've done all year, but specifically for this event, to bring great ice to these players to play on. And thank you very much for what you've done there. And of course, Dawn Gavin and her whole crew of volunteers at Leduc Curling Club for all that they've done to help make this a wonderful event. Let's see. Did you see what they ended up calling? This looks like a mid-weight hit.
It does. I think the potential is there.
Yeah, they're going to try, I think, to just get to the inside and push that yellow back, and they will be sitting 1, potentially 2.
Well, and if they hit it, on the inside, there is all kinds of things can go. And she's coming at it with a pretty heavy hand.
Oh, she's coming off her other rock, but she's just floated it outside and left. I actually think that she was trying to peel away that red because it was a chance to have a hit for 3. I think that was her intention. It makes sense because they like to throw. She wasn't trying to roll in per se. She just wanted to take away the in off, which was a very makeable shot. Well, I think I like what I think I see is that she would raise that yellow and just touch the top one and do a split basically and count 3. If nothing else, she can rub it in for second or even straight back it for second. So.
Well, and both teams have been looking very closely at that red and that yellow stone for second shot. I think Team Rocque there's a little bit nervous that the red is out counting their second yellow. So another well-placed stone in the 4-foot would be ideal.
So I think you'll see here it'll be a raise back on that yellow one, hoping just to clip the other one, move it maybe an inch or so just to solidify 3. Really big shot here, chance to blow this game a little bit open with only one end to play. You want to make sure you get that second shot, though, the ever important. It's tight, though. They're going really hard to hold it there. Really going hard to stop it from over curling. Really hard just to get the raise back into second shot. And she may have just done it. Hard to say. I don't think so. Looks like it's only going to be 1.
I have a feeling it is 1, yeah.
Although unfortunate, I don't know if it got going or the weight seemed to be perfect for what she wanted to do, but just never really got it out to the broom, I'd suggest.
It looked like that was the case, yes. The sweepers did what they could with it, and I think the weight was there.
Well, so there we have it. It's going to be a 3-all tie. We are going to be playing in the 8th end. That's right, 8th end. There was a blank in 6. It was just hard to see. It looked like the 6 itself was a B.
Yes, I think they put the 6 over the B, if you're looking at our scoreboards here.
So Team Silvernagle will be in the driver's seat here and all tied up. And Team Rocque will be all in for the steal. So to expect a lot of rocks in play. We can tell you, of course, Team Molding just won against Team Myers. So they will earn the spot in the 3-4 game at 7 o'clock tonight. And Team Myers will go home. Home, of course, being Saskatchewan. They did play very well, but unfortunately ran into Molding here in their final game, and were stopped there. So the long guard is successfully put in. Our second shot will be a tight guard, of course, and meanwhile, it looks like Team Silvernagle electing to just draw down to the button. In the other men's final, or C final, we can tell you Team Slachinski is leading 7-6 over Team Parent, and Team Slachinski does have Hammer playing in the final end. Of course, Team Slachinski, Jeremy Hardy, the third on their team, joining them today, not being here for the first few games that they played, but as he's come now, he seems to be adding another dimension, and the team seems to be getting hot here at a really good time.
As you can see, the games here today have all been very tight races. A lot of them coming down to the very last rock thrown.
And playing 8, we have Team Kesma Purcell leading Team Crow 4-3. We'll keep you informed in that game as we can as well. Should tell you Team Crow did blank the 7th end, so they do have Hammer, but they are down 1. In our game here, of course, 2 center guards are up. There is 1 Silvernagle in the top 12 and looking to throw another one round to the button here. Also coming in a little bit hot. It will stick around in the back 12, but certainly something that could be a catcher later on in this game, in this end. So with the 2 center guards that are there for now, Team Rocque will take advantage and try and put one here in the top 4, fully buried behind all that stuff that is out front.
Of course, a lot of people ask about some of the other events that are happening at the Leduc Curling Club. One of our feature events is Curling Alberta Rocks camps. Those run typically in August. We've been host for about 25 years. They're a chance, especially for kids, to learn some new skills and develop curling. And of course, Alberta Rocks is a great time. It helps the kids build relationships and a love for curling. It reminded me as one of our former junior coaches just poked his head in the door and gave us a wave. He'll be, of course, here for the 4 p.m. hit, draw, tap.
Yes, Team Silvernagle is going to try and remove all of these rocks out front. It's just might be over curling a little bit. They only get the one. They still leave their red up top, which actually is in the draw path for the left side of the sheet. So we'll keep an eye on that. Of course, in Kelsey's draw path as well right now. So it looks like they'll come in from the left side, try and draw around into the top 4. Looks like the back yellow rock, I would guess, is the shot stone at this point. They changed rather than trying to get around that. They're going to try and tap that to the back 8, back 12, and get a little inside roll on that. The setup shot, just some more backing for later in the end. There comes a shot, trying to help it over a little bit. Just a little under on the weight and a little out on the throw, and that still puts yellow in a very dangerous spot there, but does tap red back to a fine spot in the top 4 foot. So Silvernagle, she's just trying to decide, do I take that yellow just thrown out, or do I run the high guard, which is the most dangerous rock at this point? So we have a little conversation. Let's listen in to Jessie and Taylor. Well, the meeting's been had. Let's wait to see, get that hair out of the face. Let's wait to see what looks like they're going to do board weight, try to get to the inside of that yellow and remove it and kind of leave their shot rock or their rock, just up top there that can be used, or at least be a guard for their top 4 stone. And they will be asking Kim Curtin to make this shot.
Over on sheet 3, we have Crow versus Casma Purcell. Of course, Casma Purcell is leading by 1. Score is currently 4-3. However, Crow is in a great position. She's sitting 2. And Casma Purcell was able to remove one of those stones.
Can't tell you the final stone in the parent Sachinsky rock is underway. Parent certainly sits shot, but it is a wide open stone, and they will just make it go away. Back to our feature game, Danielle Schmiemann is throwing her stone, the first of her stones here in the 8th end. Got Rochelle Brown really sweeping hard to bring this one around. They want to get it right down on top if they can. It would be a perfect shot, and she has thrown just that.
Beautiful.
What a wonderful throw.
Beautiful throw.
Silvernagle is sitting shot, but that Yellowstone is in a great usable spot for Team Rocque. Maybe a little bit over than where they want it, but certainly a shot that you can tell is bothering Silvernagle.
You can tell for sure.
I should say Hunkin, but Team Silvernagle and Jess Hunkin.
I think she's just processing which angle and which side to hit it on. Or she might not even want to take it out, actually. Looks like she's pondering just sitting on it.
Yeah, her corner freeze would be absolutely perfect.
I
because
agree.
It would take away the chance to move that Yellowstone forwards. Anything on the right of center line, right close in, would be a really good shot. Taylor McDonald, shot is underway. Nice positive release there. Well, they're helping it in and over. Want to get this over a little bit if they can, and here it goes. It's finishing well. I think that will do the trick. I think it's far enough over. It'll be interesting to see what Team Rocque decides to do with this. She could slash it across, trying to just touch that yellow on the way by and run it back into it. Might not be the bad shot to do, and if nothing else, it does get it out of the way. She could always run back the center yellow, but I think that's something you leave for your last shot.
Well, running back the center yellow is a pretty risky shot. You have to hit it right in exactly precise position. It is quite a high guard.
Well, let's listen in for a sec. You know, there is the outside double. You can about a quarter rock off of that, the outside left one. Probably the hardest of all the shots, but still, it's a shot that's there, maybe for the last one. See what she's thinking about here in a moment. Looks like she's throwing the hit. She's going to try and rip the red one across through the house and maybe just catch that yellow stone on the way by and run it back into the red. Haven't really laid a broom yet, but they're close. Trying to make it curl a little bit here. Interesting result. Kind of lost the outside one they could have used as well, so I don't think Team Silvernagle will be too upset with that. They'll try to replace that stone here with the last of the third stones. Taylor McDonald just through this. I expect her to be even better, maybe a few more inches over.
Well, it looks like they're taking a smidgen more ice as well. If she throws it the same weight, it should curl in perfectly.
Yeah, sometimes people say, well, if they want it over further, why would they take more ice? A lot of times on these sheets, as you get it out further, it really pronunciates the curl. And if you get it
That's
too
right.
inside, it can get into the little trough and not curl as much. So, and this one's really curling over. Great looking weight, and the line is absolutely perfect. Two great stones by Taylor McDonald here in
Well,
this eighth end.
I would suspect this one is exactly where they wanted it to be.
Well, they've taken away the run back by hooking it, and I don't think they can get to the yellow coming outside that. So I tell you, really good. But yeah, I like what, well, listen in to what Kelsey has to say, but I like what she's talking about, putting it in the 4-foot. Looks like they're going to come down and try and either freeze on the edge of that red or else leave it out in the forefoot, something they can use to run in on their last, because certainly that top yellow one has been well covered by Team Silvernagle, not really available to them. There is that outside red one. It's a long run back, but if need be on that last shot, it's always an opportunity.
And we're just watching the final stone here on sheet 3. Team Crow is trying to score 2. A well-placed draw anywhere in the 8 or the 4 would do that. Beautiful shot. And it looks like Team Crow got the 2. And that game will finish with a 5-4 victory for Team Crow.
And they're waiting to see who they'll play tonight, and who they'll play will depend on the last few shots here. And that's a great shot by Kelsey. Rocque, exactly where they wanted to put it. Wonderful shooting by the skipper. Realizing the danger of that stone, looks like Jessie's going to try to just draw down to the inside and move that to the back 8 and get a bit of an inside roll. If she can do that, it'll be really hard for Kelsey to find a shot to score.
Well, and in a 3-3 tie here, every second, or every inch counts. Not every second, of course not. Every inch counts.
I want to be careful here. A little heavy, a little extra weight, and this rock will run. And the worst thing you could do here is catch half a rock and drive it into your own.
Drive it right into your own, absolutely. I would say the weight, or a controlled weight, would be more beneficial than a heavy takeout.
Well, second last stone for Jessie Hunkin here in the 8th end. Trying to come down with a back line shot and get to the inside of Kelsey Rocque's last thrown stone. They haven't laid a brush to this. They're trying to curl it over. There must be going now.
Well, it looks like they're trying to keep it clean, but also just nudge that yellow out of the way.
A great shot, but there will be a shot for Kelsey with a heavy weight, I think, to get both rocks moving here, both reds.
There is the potential for that, absolutely. I think that stone just thrown finished a little bit higher than they wanted as well. There was no roll on it or anything. It was just a straight hit.
Yeah, this isn't easy. It has jam. And I don't mean the jam you put on toast written all over it. So, it's no easy shot, but it might be the only one. And, you just, once you get weight on a stone and they're active and lively, they can spin, and they only has to move out of the forefoot. And if you catch it thinner, you could get it across the top as well. So certainly a lot of weight here, and you just want to not be unlucky and nut it straight on.
Well, and I think on this shot too, the ice call is what will make or break this shot.
So hit as much of it as you can see is the call. With weight, because you've got to move a stone that's going to hit pretty full here. And the last thing, you just don't want to pop it out too hard or it'll just float on you. Underway here. I need to curl this. Actually, just got this going outside, and I am not sure. Nope, just nutted on top, and that will be game. Well, a well-curled end by Team Silvernagle. Some chances there by Rocque, but in the end, Team Silvernagle will take the 1 here in 8. That will be a 4-3 victory. It'll be Team Silvernagle playing against Team Crow tonight at 7 o'clock in the 3-4 game. In the 1-2 game, that'll be played by Team Marks against Team Skurlik, and that'll be a rematch of the A qualifier game. Over on the men's side, we watched Aaron Sluchinski, Team Sluchinski, win, and they will play against Team Molding in the 3-4 game. And in the Team 1-2 game will be Team Botcher, who, like Team Marks, have had a whole day off, and they'll be playing against Team Sturmey. So stay around. 4 o'clock, hit, tap, and draw will be shown here. A bunch of 30 kids running around and trying to compete for a fun provincial championship. And then back with us at 7 o'clock for another great curling game. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Jerry. Thank you, Nadine. Thank you, Leduc. Thank you, Don. Thank you, Andrea. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, everyone who joined us, and you have a wonderful evening.
Well, and thank you to Steve as well for being my partner in crime today. And of course, Steve is the president of Curling Alberta. And we're grateful that they consider Leduc for many of their events.